We transition smoothly over to the situation that is the big topic of conversation in the NFL, especially over the last next couple of weeks, as we try and figure out what the plan is at the top for the Chicago Bears and the latest development for Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. And I again, can't even believe this is an actual storyline to all this, is that he unfollowed the Bears on Instagram. So just devastating. You guys know my thoughts on this. Different audience, so can't exactly say what I said yesterday. I'll just put it this way. I blame guys that are a little bit too aggressive and interested in women on social media who got a little bit too fired up when they see they were out of a relationship and turn their status to "it's complicated." Now, everybody knows if you want to get some attention, this is the move. But according to Justin Fields, it's nothing more than he just wants a little bit of time. He wants a little bit of vacation time to go ahead and do his thing. He was on the St. Brown Brothers podcast yesterday and had this to say about the situation.
Why do people take social media so serious? Like,
but like, why you don't follow the Bears?
This and that. Like, I still mess with the Bears. This and that. I'm just trying to take a little break. I unfollow the Bears and the NFL, bro. I'm not just trying to have football on my timeline. Like, I know y'all mess with a girl, EQ, especially you. Just because you don't follow the girl on IG, don't mean you're not messing with them.
Want to stay in Chicago or what's up?
Yeah, of course. Of course I want to stay. To be honest, bro, I'll be trying to, like, with all the talk, it's hard to, I guess, kind of just be in one place. But I can't see myself playing in another place. But I know how that league is. Like, if it was up to me, I would want to stay in Chicago. I love the city. The city's lit. The fans, they're great. But it's a business. I ain't got no control over it. So whatever happens, happens. But I feel like the biggest thing with all this going on right now, I just want it to be over. Like, just let me know if I'm getting traded. Let me know if I'm staying.
So that was Justin Fields talking with Equinemius and Amon-Ra St. Brown on the 33rd team.
Let me jump on this real quick, and Q can have it after, because to me, Q can't relate to this from my perspective because I'm an ugly, all right? Ugly dude, listen to what Justin Fields just had to say and said that you pretty mother lovers, y'all just think y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, and people are going to be waiting on you, and nobody's going to have a problem with it. This is a pretty dude. What he did with his social media, I think he's 100% correct. Pretty dudes will, let me unfollow her, like he used as an example. I'll unfollow her, but that don't mean that we ain't still cool. I just needed a break. I just didn't want you all over my timeline. That's what pretty dudes do. See, ugly dudes, we're going to keep you on our timeline because we want to keep seeing you, right? And we want you to know that we see your posts and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, yeah, you hit the like button, boom, boom, boom. You hit the heart, whatever. You know, some uglies, they comment. You know, they say weird, like, creepy stuff like, oh, you look beautiful. Or, oh, are you having a great day? Or, you know.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
No, I know.
I mean, this is your perspective,
I'm just saying this is my perspective. Because I'm friends with uglies too. Like I don't like hanging out with pretty dudes. I hang out with ugly dudes because if they're uglier than me, then I at least feel somewhat less as ugly as them.
Good move.
So our approach is much different than that of a pretty dude. This was a pretty dude's approach. I don't think he had anything personal with the NFL. I think he's telling the truth about not having something personal with the Chicago Bears. He just wanted a break. He doesn't want to see everybody asking, where's Justin Fields going to go? Okay. What is he going to do? All those
Can I ask
things.
this then? Because I am not a savant at social media in any way. Can't you just mute the Bears? Can't you just put them on mute? You don't have to unfollow them. If you put them on mute, they're not going to show up in your timeline, right?
I'm not sure if there's a mute on Instagram. I know mute is.
There for sure is.
I know you can stop people from commenting on it, or you can do private posts.
You can mute posts, stories, notes. You can mute all that.
Yeah, well,
you don't have to see.
You might be more of a savant than me. I just know for me on IG, if I don't want to see your story or see your post, I unfollow you.
Okay.
I'll unfollow.
I think the slyer way of doing it is just, again, using the mute button, if that indeed was the case.
See, my whole thing was to expose Brady Quinn on being an Instagram social media guru. See, I just showed the Dan Patrick audience out there that Brady Quinn is a guru.
Well, they know that. I mean, he's a regular on the DP show.
Yeah. Big Instagram guy, big social media guy.
There you go.
Here's the first thing I'd say is, like Justin Fields, selfishly, I want this to be over for all of us. Like, we've talked about this already ad nauseum, because when the Bears didn't make the playoffs and the Bears were solidified in the number one slot, this conversation, this talking point came up. And we knew kind of coming into the season it needed to be a big season for Justin Fields, which I thought he played well enough where you could warrant him being the guy. And he should, in my opinion, be the guy, trade out of the spot, go accumulate more picks, more players to help build out around him. That's how I feel. But that's a simple way of looking at it, because it doesn't factor in that he's played long enough now where you have to start thinking about that contract extension. And it's going to be more expensive sooner to keep Justin Fields than it would be to draft a quarterback at number one overall, take your pick, whoever it is. So I understand the economics to it, but selfishly for him, for us, for everyone out there, like, I hope whatever happens, they decide soon. And that way we can just get off this topic and narrative, and whether it's Atlanta, whether it's Pittsburgh, whether it's whatever other team out there would be looking for his services if he's going to get traded, I hope it happens sooner than later, just for him too, for the next step of his career, getting with that new organization. But I don't know. I like the whole social media thing. I know players I don't get it. Everyone blows out of proportion. Well, the reality is that's what a lot of guys are being told to do by their agents.
It's the first line of
It's like drawing a line in the sand.
It is a negotiation. Let's be clear here. I could poke fun at it and say the uglies and the pretties and all that stuff, but it is a negotiation. I mean, that is the first tactic. Like, you see, okay, he's unfollowed us. What does that mean? That means until we get to a certain, it's either I want out or you guys need to decide if you want me here. It's the first shot fired is what it is. I mean, let's just be clear on that. And I'm with you on them figuring it out quickly, because again, once you get off into free agency, it's like a frenzy. People aren't like, oh yeah, we're going to wait and see if we can get a guy that comes out later or comes available later because the other team didn't want. We're not waiting on Justin Fields. They're going to go fill that spot with someone else. So the longer you take in these types of situations, the harder it's going to be. It's a more strenuous situation for the player because the money is gone. It's gone. You've given it out. You've signed your guys who you want in free agency, and it becomes more difficult the further you get down into the bag of free agency. So I hope they do make a decision soon as well.
I mean, listen, if he wants to just go ahead and delete the app altogether, I'll help him out here. Here's how this is going to go. Yeah. It's over. He's going to get traded, and Caleb Williams is going to be the starting quarterback in Chicago next year. And that's been the story for weeks and weeks and weeks. And if he's looking for somebody to blame, if he does want to follow along and go back on social media, just follow the Carolina Panthers, who rolled out a bag of crap last year and enabled the Chicago Bears to pick number one overall. That's why this is happening. And you don't need to go on IG for all that. You could just go on the iHeartRadio app and listen to this show.
That's very nice.
That's a good point. And by the way, that is coming from a lifelong Bears fan.
Oh, come on. That is a reckless allegation
From Monmouth, Illinois.
Monmouth, great point, by the way.
Home of Wyatt Earp.
In western part of the state.
Knox County.
Yeah.
Yep. Not sure if you guys
Knox County.
Near Galesburg, for those of you that are interested.
Where the mini Sears Tower is.
Hey, what are you laughing at, Joel? You know that's a real place. We're not spinning yarns here on this show. Galesburg and Monmouth, that's a real place, Joel. Yeah. Problem is, Joel's from the big city. Like he's a Detroit guy through and through. So he doesn't know what that small time life was.
We was talking about Michigan life pre-show.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
Yeah,
he got a national title, but it was out of Ann Arbor. It wasn't out of East Lansing. It wasn't out of Detroit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
maybe one day though.
Yeah,
maybe one day, Joel. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just little comments behind the scenes from.
I would say this for Justin Fields though too. Like, this is an opportunity for him. I think whatever ends up happening, either you have the complete backing of the organization if they don't trade you, and if they do, obviously it's an opportunity for a new start. And I'll say this much: if it ends up being the Atlanta Falcons, I love that fit for him. I love the opportunity he's going to have there with the talent that they have, as well as the defense came around last season. Like, that could be a very competitive team right away with his skill set. It's close to home for him. That could be like a great second act for him personally, if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Atlanta, by the way, is the favorite right now, according to several odds makers, to land Justin Fields. So there's that whole side of the story out there.